So, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we're going to be discussing about query data using select, where, and like. So, in the last lesson, we looked at how to read the data from our database and how to view our database. In this lesson, we want to do a deeper dive into the process and see all of the different ways that we wanted to use the select keyword in SQL and how we can use our data and search through our database to find a specific piece of information that we wanted to use in our applications. The data that we're gonna use to practice our SQL skills is the total amount of food produced by various countries. That does look like this. I'll hide this one. This is this is a food that's been produced by various countries in 2021, and the two foods that we're going to be focusing on, those were rice and wheat productions. Go ahead and download the file world food csv, and we're gonna put this data into a Postgres database. So we're gonna create a table for the world food production data. It's basically a bunch of different countries. Let's see, there are total 10 lines, 10 rows, and there were total 9 countries. First line represents the header, and here you can see there were the amount of rice and tons of wheat production produced in a million metric tons. It's a lot of food, and you can see some of the big players like China, India, and the United States. And we can also see the breakdown of the different types of grain gain that they produce. For example, the US produced way more wheat than it does rice, and India produces way more rice than it does wheat, so on. So this is the raw data that we're going to working with. First exercise is to using pgadmin, this one, and the csv file you just download it to create a new table in the database that we already created previously, which is uh, world 1. And inside the database world 1, over here you got to go to the schemas and tables. You're going to be creating this table called world food. I guess there isn't any. I'm going to create the table. So we're gonna have to write some SQL in order to create this table, and you can take a look at the different specifications and the different columns that we're going to need. We're gonna need an ID that represents the uniqueness, and which one, this is the primary key. The country, let me show you this. The country, which is uh, which is going to be character rating 45 characters in terms of data types. The only in terms of data types, the only one that we haven't seen so far is this one, rice. I mean, sorry, which is float. We're going to be declaring this one for the rice and wheat production. This is going to allow us to store number with the decimal places after them. So open up the query tool and write our SQL code. Let's go. So query tool has been already opened, and I'll gonna open again. Make sure you selected this database, and here there's an option which is very really great. It will store every history that we have done, just like a Google Chrome history. Here you can see everything that I have done over here was shown here. When I press, and I'll be there. So you can remove them which one you wanted to. You can also remove all of them. And let's go to the query, and we're going to be creating a table using the query. So we're going to say create table, create table. So SQL is not a case sensitive, so you can use uppercase or lowercase, which ones you are, what they say, you are comfortable with. So I'll use capital case. It looks cool. Create table, and then the name of the table, which is, let's see what's that name, world food. Which one is smaller case or lowercase? World food, and open parenthesis, set of parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we're gonna declare the columns. We're gonna create a columns. So let's create this. First one is going to be ID, and which is a primary one, and I'm gonna use serial. So I hope you know why we're gonna use that one. Primary key. mm, Primary key. Oh, serial. Oh, SERIAL. Okay, primary key. Okay, make sure you're not making any typos, just like I've done here. And second one is country. UN, country, VACA. VACA 45 characters. And rice production. Right, production will be float. Okay, last one is gonna be wheat production. It is going to be a float as well. Here you can see here varchar 45. This just presuming that none of our countries are greater than 45 characters and the length, and here floating point. Remember that no comma after the final column. Close off the entire command with a semicolon here, and let's hit the run. You'll see that query returned successfully. You all the whole bunch of the empty columns by here. First thing you got to do is to refresh this one, and here you go. Press the view, here and select all those. You'll see empty columns. Okay, and one thing I wanted to say is this this can be run. I mean, this post PG admin can be run offline, so you don't need to worry about internet connection. This can be, I mean, internet is not a thing that you need to be afraid of. So I just wanted to say that. That's why I told you. So next thing I'm going to do is to import the, what they say, import the CSV file, which is this one, world food. So let's go ahead and do that. I hope you know how to do that, and I want you to do that all by yourself. Import, make sure you selected the import, and after that select the file that you wanted to import. Go ahead and hit this one, and that's world country, world food, and open, and go to the options. Here make sure you selected this one, I mean turn on this one, and go to the columns. Here you can see when you inspect the world food CSV file, here you can see there isn't any ID, and if you just leave as it is, that will produce an error. So the ID can be generated automatically, so you don't need to, I mean, you just have to remove this one. So click here. If you don't, that will return an error though. So let's go ahead and click this one. So hopefully you got these two green pop-ups which says successfully imported. I haven't, I removed the ID because that's been auto generated, and no problem, it will be auto generated by Postgres serial. So now I'll just refresh this one again. Okay, and view the old data. So here, ID, country, rice production, wheat production, which looks so good, right? So mm, we can view our data in another way, right? So I'll just show you how to do. I can't. Let's go to the query tool, and there isn't any output now. And here's the history. Our previous actions was shown here. World food. Okay. So here's the previous history of ours. And let's go to the query and select star from the table that we have created is production, not production, my bad. World food. I'm pretty bad at remembering names. So this one's we're gonna use this query to get all the rows from the table. Here star represents all. So let's hit the run button, and you'll see you got all the rows from the table world food. And now we wanted to access only one column, which is country, because you know you get a some, in the future you may get a task which says something like you wanted to get only the phone numbers of students and you wanted to contact them and say that happy new year. So that's how sometimes things going to happen. So this is a kind of example. If you don't understand, so please don't mind it. So in order to select a particular column, we're gonna use a query something like select and column name from the table, which returns the column from the table. So the syntax pretty much looks like this: select column from table. Oh my! Here column you got to change it to the country. So COUN TRY country from table world food. Hopefully you got the same output that I've got. So there isn't any ID. This one, you already know. This one's only represents the number of columns in the number of rows in the table. That's all. And the second thing that I wanted to show you how to access multiple columns from a certain table. So like we got the table world food and there are four columns and we want to access country and no wheat production and rice production, not the country and the ID. So we're gonna use syntax like the column one, and those were separated by comma, column two, and goes like this. How many columns you want, you can access multiple columns. So this is the syntax. So let's do that. And this one's the table name. First column is rice production. I wish there isn't any typos. Rice production and wheat production. Let's hit the run. How rice production, here there is an error, there's a typo. Here's the C, so don't make any typos. Here we got the two columns from the table successfully. Next thing I wanted to tell you is where equals, where equals, which is a query which returns a particular, particular, I wanted to only get a country equal to, I mean, United States, or no. I just wanted to get this for 109.6, this one, and its ID probably 5, and rice production this one. Maybe I'll just show you. Select, or I'll just go to the query history and select to start from capitals. Capitals. World food. Okay, I'll run this. Oh, looks like this won't work. Does it copy? Okay, I'll copy it. Oh, here. Here there is an option which says copy. You can copy it. So I'll go to the query and paste over here, and I'll run it. Here's the world food table. Here you can see there were total 4 columns, and there's an ID, country, rice production, and wheat production. I just wanted to get 1.6, and this is a rice production. I wanted to get a rice production I mean rice production, this one. From the rice production column, where the ID is 6 and country is Iran and wheat production is 10.1. I just wanted to get this one. So what I use where equals or where condition to get that one. So I'll just show you how we're gonna get that one. So let's go ahead and do that. The syntax would look like will be look like this one. Select. I'll just use lowercase. So frustrated to getting typos from table. This represents table name and this is a column name. You can use where or you can use something like select column from table where condition. Where condition, I mean where equals we're using. So where condition. So that's the one. So here's the column we want. I mean we want the output from this column, right? Rice production. So I'll just rice production and table is Waldford and condition where id equal to 5. Why we are using id? Because id is a primary key and this one is a unique one and it must be unique one, right? So that's why you're going to use, because there may be a country which there's name as Iran as well, and maybe there's a country which weight production may be 10.1. That's why it'll be best if you use a primary key, but in this case I'm just gonna use country name. So country country equal to, make sure you're using a single quotation, Iran, and close this one with semicolon, and let's hit that one. Here you go, we got the thing, we succeeded. So that's it. And next thing I wanted to tell you about is where conditions such as greater than oh, let me show how does it look. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So you can go one step further for a loose match, whatever. That's not the case though. In this case, I just want you to, first thing, I'll just remove this, paste this, and run this. Here, let's look at this one. Here, here you can see wheat production. There were some of the countries which wheat production is less than 20. Those were Iran and Ethiopia, whatever, and this one Brazil. I wanted to get a countries whose wheat production is more than 20 tons, 20 million tons. So let me show you the syntax. How does it look? I guess you have already seen. The syntax is almost looks like this one. I mean, identical to this one here, and I'll just copy the query, whatever. I'll remove it, paste it, and whose wheat production, right? Whose wheat production is, I want to get a country names. COUNTRY country from World Food, where wheat. production is more than 20 million tons, which is float, right? No problem. So let's hit and see the output. Here you can see we got the output that we wanted. There were three countries whose wheat production is less than 20 million tons. So those were removed, and we got the countries whose wheat production is more than 20 million tons. So there's another thing which increase. I mean, you gotta make you. I mean, which is so helpful. That is where like. mm, let's remove this. Where like this one we're going to be discussing now. Here, like keyword is to check whether a pattern exists in the data. We can use something like, we can use percentage symbol is to represent a wild card, and the other one is a double pipe, or you can say this one is an R. It's gonna manage the two of them. I mean, first one first. I gotta show you the syntax right here, and where like first where what they say, where column name, like where in that one I'll just choose small one, like, and you gotta use the syntax. I gotta say here I've already show you the pipe symbol is used to merge the things, and we're going to telling the SQL that we wanted to look and see and check out all the things. So I'll just write the syntax so that you'll understand. So whatever, I'll just show you the last syntax where column name and like, where column like we're going to use percentage, which is like this, and pipe symbol which is going to match the data with this one. Sorry, first thing is, um, my bad. If we wanted to check out, first to last, then we're gonna use, first thing we're gonna use the data that we wanted to compare with, something like 3 4 or whatever, and we wanted to match with, finally we're gonna match with the percentage, and we're gonna close with the semicolon. So I hope you understand, even if you don't. where with column we wanted to get a country names, so COUN country names, where column. So here's the thing, where column and the keyword like, and I wanted to get a country which does have, which country, the country which is start from u u letter, u string. So I'm gonna use u, and pipe which matches, and the percentage is wild card. and finish this one like this. Here 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 you, it could be United States, it could be United States of America, it could be United Kingdom, then it could be something completely different, which starts from you. So just be careful when you're using this pattern, and you have to understand how to use this. How to use it to work. So I want you to just be careful when you use this one. Here you can see U and double, U and pipe symbols, which is merge or concatenate. We are going to merge U with the percentage, with this wild card, remaining. So it will check for all of the countries that I have a string that begins with U, and then it doesn't care what happens afterwards. It doesn't really care about that. So let's hit. Oh my, looks like we've encountered an error where column. Here you can see the column, country, and hit. So now we got Ukraine and the United States. Both were star from U. There were only 9. These were the countries which starts from A. And I wanted to give you a challenge that says we wanted to find all the countries that ends with A, small A. Okay, pause the video and give it a go. So I guess you did your best. I wish you done, and you perfectly got the output. Here you're watching this video to confirm. You wanted to see the solution with me. That's why. So let's go and check out how to do that. So the, in this time, in this case, we used this wildcard afterward. So we wanted to get a final word, right? So we're gonna use this wildcard before here. Oh, oh, again, oh, again, oh, wildcard, and afterward the word that we wanted to merge with the wild. Before remaining before. Whatever. Just as long as you understand everything is. That's all that matters. Uh, yeah, small yeah, right? Let's hit. Here you go. These were the countries which were ends with A. There's a country which is only ends with the IA. Those were totally 3 countries. So let's check out with IA. Let's hit. You'll get IA. There were total 3 countries which ends with IA. IA. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys, understand fully everything that I have teach you in this video. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about the unique key and not null, and we're going to be creating a completely, a best project. We're going to be creating an application. Uh, how to say? It acts like a scratchable world map. It will keep track of the countries that you have visited. So I got no picture. I got no picture of that. So that's it. If you think this video helped you, make sure you hit the bell icon and like my video and subscribe to my channel. and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.